Hey guys, Jason Ratzlaff here again. I'm going to get started on this video here about on-page optimization. So you guys can look forward to these other videos: increasing conversions, getting traffic, social media traffic, converting traffic, best email subject lines, increasing email click-through rate, and about anything else. If you guys have some videos you really want me to do, you guys could post it on my Facebook or email me. Let me know in the forums, anything like that, and I'll do my best to get them to you guys. I'm not sure exactly which order I'm going to go through these, and I'm going to try to keep this video very as short as possible. So I'm going to move along relatively fast. You guys may have to come back and go through this video while you're working on your pages, but hopefully you guys get a lot out of this. And this is a couple years of learning and finding tools and stuff like that to be able to really make a difference. One of the things I want to stress to you is that with on-page SEO, I believe that making that last 1% of changes is one of the things that's going to propel you from possibly being 10th in the search engine placement to being first. A lot of us we get lazy and we do about 90% of the work, but this PowerPoint is kind of about doing that last 1 to 10%, really paying attention to detail, and it makes a big difference, especially if you're on really competitive key phrases. We've got a couple that we're in the billion range and billions of competitors, and it makes it really tough. You really got to pay attention. You really got to pay attention to detail if you really want to place well. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and we'll dip right in here and get started. Okay, so here we're going to start. We're going to go over page title, meta description, document outline, search engine friendly URLs, W3C compliance, and what tools I use. Okay, so for page title and description, okay, I recommend for page title you try to keep them short. It used to be you could put a lot of keywords in your title, but what I'm finding now is if you can keep your titles under about 65 characters, that's how much Google shows in the search results, and it seems to be, they seem to rank a lot better if you can keep them a little shorter. You could do your own searches around Google, and you will see that that's true. There's, I'll show you a couple examples here in a minute too. But if you can keep, the other thing to know about the way that Google ranks keywords in your title is they look at your title and each word has a value. And as you move through the values, your first word has a value, your second word has less of a value than your first word. So maybe they put a weight of 10 on your first keyword, and then your second one maybe a weight of 8, and then your third one maybe a weight of 6. So the more content you add to that title, the further it diminishes, and the farther towards the back, the less it's worth. So what I say is, if you can, really try to keep the main theme of your page as the title, and try to basically make each individual page very targeted and very specific to what it is you're selling, or what it is you're blogging about, whatever your website may be. Description under 155, including spaces. The description, we can talk a lot about that, but I would say keep that short and sweet. I don't think that's a big part of Google's algorithm on how they rank you, but what it is a big part of is how you convert your traffic. When somebody comes to Google and they do a search, they're going to look at, first thing in the results, they got the page title, and then they're going to have the description. And the type of description you write is going to make a difference on whether or not they click you. And then one of the other things too, try to word it like a human. You see a lot of these guys, and especially about 5-10 years ago, you would just see these titles that were completely keyword stuffed. That's not working anymore. With the new Panda and Penguin updates, you can't really. It's actually becoming a negative. So go in there and make sure you word your title in the way a human would want to see it, especially in the search results. And I covered the keyword order by priority. And also, while you're searching around Google, pay attention to what it is you would click. try to get into the psychology of it, try to get into the habit of noticing while you're using search engines, while you're using websites, what is it that you're clicking? So you can kind of get a feel for the type of descriptions you click, the type of titles. Odds are you're going to see that you're not clicking these keyword stuff titles and these keyword stuff descriptions, and you're clicking descriptions that are more like explaining exactly what you get from that company, or with a phone number, that builds trust. When you see a title, it actually you do a search and you see a title or a description and it explains what it is you're looking for, your eye is automatically attracted to that, and you'll start to see that the more you start to train yourself to really pay attention to what it is you're clicking. For page title and description here, I'm going to show you I'm going to go ahead and show you something here. If we do a Google search here for cheap computers, right, what you're going to see here is these keywords, this right here. Let's see how long this title is. So we're going to go ahead, paste that in here, see how long. So characters with space, about 53 characters. So you're going to see that this page here is only a page rank 3. It's ranking really well, considering the second result is a page rank 6, and it has a much longer description. It's going clear off their thing here. We'd have to open that page and view the source to exactly see how long that is. Another thing, look how short this description is. It's very short and to the point. And you're going to see here, again, really good page rank, lots of backlinks, not so much here. And this big keyword stuff description, it isn't working for them. They're obviously doing pretty good. This is a very competitive phrase. We're looking at 264 million. But again, I think if they really backed off some of this stuff, they would be able to rank a little bit better. You look who's coming in here after geeks.com, you're seeing another one, a really short title and a really short description. These really seem to be working right now. And again, look at this, page rank 2. And Tiger Direct, page rank 6, long title. What I do like about this description here is it has their phone number. And what I do like about this one here, it says your source for best deals. It's really explained. Whenever you word something with your and you, and kind of give you the feeling of what do I get? What are they talking about for me? What you don't want to do is you'll see some companies saying we're the best in the world, and if you ever read any of Jay Abraham's books and some of his teachings about the way you word titles and stuff like that, you really don't want to talk about how great you are. You want to talk about how great your customer is. In other words, when you walk up and meet somebody, you open their door, you're not going to say, hey, I'm great, I'm Jason, and I'm the greatest SEO in the world. That's not going to make the person you're talking to feel very welcome. But if you open them and you greet them and you tell them, man, it's a really great pleasure to be here. It's really great finally meeting you, and you honestly mean that. It really makes a difference. So basically, long story short, is as a website owner, you really want to speak to your customer. You really want them to know how grateful you are to have them as a customer, and to embrace them and honor them, and make sure you acknowledge them. It makes a difference. So again, you'll see here we've got another example: short title, page rank 2, long title, page rank 6. So those aren't the only factors why these are ranking better, and I can't claim to know why, but I'm just giving you my observations here by looking at some of these results. So you can do your own tests and leave this up to your own interpretation, but what I'm seeing is this seems to be working really well. There's a tool we can use. So say, for example, this page here, we want to see how our meta description and stuff is. So we would come here, and I'll give you the link. I'm going to give you this PDF with the video that you can download, and it has all these links to these tools I use. But so you go to this meta analyzer, put in your URL, do submit, and it's going to analyze your page. And so what it does is it looks here to see, my title tag, 18 characters. No errors. What it looks for is it to be too long. If it's too long, it lets you know. It's a really handy tool. Again, the description, short, telling them that we're domestic, telling them how long we've been in business, and call now. There's call to action. Again, keeping it under the number of characters. We don't really want to do a bunch. So anyway, this is a really cool little tool. You can go through and use it. Gives you analyzes your keywords, and you can kind of get an idea of where you're at. Another thing, keyword density. We don't cover that much in this video, but what I will say is try to not exceed 4% with some of these new algorithms. I think it seems to be that lower keyword density is actually doing better in having a more diverse set of keywords instead of using the social marketing. And here you really want to break it up into as many different ways to say the same thing as you can. And Google knows what your content's about, and they're going to rank you well anyway. So try to get the widest variety of keywords you can. Okay, so getting clicks, that kind of goes back to what I was just saying. Tell the user exactly what they're going to get. Whether it's in your description or on your page, what do they get? Do they get 1 million visitors to their website? Does your customer get a better blue widget? What exactly do they get? Instead of telling them how great that thing is, and from your perspective, you need to get into their perspective and tell them what they get. So when that customer reads, they're reading your content on your page, they're really getting a feeling of what it is they're going to get, or whether or not you're going to meet their expectations. So that's kind of a twofold thing, managing expectations, because if they know exactly what they're going to get and you've explained that in great detail, then they're going to be a happy customer because you've managed their expectations. Now, if you make it really vague and implicit and leaves it up to their interpretation, they may interpret what they're going to get as something that you don't actually provide. And so then you've got to deal with that. They're going to come back and they're going to be unhappy because they had this expectation of getting X, and you clearly never say that in your website. But be very detailed on exactly what they get. It'll make a big difference. Again, here I talk about using the words you, your company will receive this, your company will receive that, your company's going to benefit in this way. You look at how Steve Jobs used to market the iPhone. He would never tell you, not that he never did, but you didn't see him sit up there telling you how many gigahertz a processor was. He was telling you, how it was going to make your life better to have this device and how easy this device is for you to use. He really got into your space and lets you, come up with your own interpretation that this phone is going to make my life easier, better, faster, and I really need this. So try to start putting yourself in that space to really get in your customer's head and what is it that they want. And again, try to let your customers know how great they are. I kind of explained that. Build trust. I kind of basically covered that. Just put your phone number everywhere you can if you have a phone number. If not, put your email address or Facebook, some way that they can contact you. It's really important that people can get a hold of you if they do have questions or problems or referrals or if, opportunities for you guys to work together, anything like that. Make sure you have your contact information. It really makes a big difference. Okay, so now we're going to dig into the deeper stuff. Document outline. If you're familiar with English, you're going to know about your titles. So what we're doing here in programming, you're going to take a look at your H1 through H6 tags. One of the things you're not going to want to do, basically what we're going to try to do is mark this up semantically. And what you don't want to do is have an image be a heading tag. And what I mean by that is you're going to see a lot of, for example, Magento comes with the default template, and it's an e-commerce open source software, but by default your H1 tag is your logo. And search engines don't like that very much. You want to take that out, make your H1 what your page is about. You're going to do your page title, make your page title and your H1 tag relevant, but not exactly the same. So you're going to, they're going to be one and the same. So your page title may be laptop computers or best laptop computers or something like that. or your laptop computer resource, and your page title may just, your H1 tag, maybe Acer laptop computer, something like that. Relevant, but not exactly the same. So Google really gets an idea that you are what you're talking about. You want to only use one H1 tag. Now, with HTML5, they're allowing you to use more than one, but I really recommend that you use only one H1. You could use as many H2s as you want, but really focus on just getting one H1. That's exactly what your page is about, or as specific as you can be, and then let all your other tags fall below that. So here's a little example. You would have an H1, underneath it H2, then H3. So I'll give you a little example of Acer computer here. So your H1 tag would be, maybe computers, and then you have Acer computer. Under that is your H2. Your H3 is Acer computer review. Your H4 is good Acer reviews. Your other H4 maybe bad Acer reviews. Again, you can use as many H3s, as many H4s, and as many H2s as you want. But then next, again, you would then do another H2, Dell computers, and continue this type of semantic markup. It really gives Google a breakdown of what it is your page is about in order. It prioritizes your content. And then, for example, we're on this page, and if this was a link, we clicked Acer computers. Now, on the next page that opened, this should become your H1, and then this would be your H2. So you could see the flow of this information move over. And I'm going to show you an example of that here in a minute. And also you want to make sure there's no broken or missing headings. So let's jump over here and think, what do we got here? Okay, so here's this page here, right? Now, okay, as far as tools, in order to view this page, what you're going to want to do is, this is Web Developer Toolbar. In order to get this, you would come to this page, go to the Information tab, come down here to View Document Outline. And what this is going to load for you is this tab. So this gives us our H structure. So we can see for this page, we've got H1, H2, H2. So this being the page title, and these being the titles of each subsequent business. Now, if we were to click this H2, this company would become the number one, and then the whatever having to do with this company below it, like the reviews and description, those types of things, would become the H2s. And another good example of that would be, for example, this computer store here. So this is a little development site we have. You come here, you're on computer parts. We're in the memory and RAM section, right? So if we're to view the document structure, it looks like this. Here's our heading tag. And if you look here, the page title is a little bit different. By memory online, we're talking about computer, memory, and RAM. They're the same, but very different. Now each H2 is each product in this category. So it's IBM 44T, IBM 44T. Each one of these are then sub to this computer in RAM. Now, once you would click this, so you click that product, and now we're on this IBM 44T, this page. Now, if you're to view the document structure on this, again, information, view document outline, you're going to see a page that looks like this. So now you can see that we just went from this being an H2 to this being an H1. And the contents below it, so now we got the description here, and then we've got another description, and then here's all the attributes as H4s. So you can start to see how this semantically flows. And Google is using this in their new index. They are starting to look at this, and I've noticed that just by implementing this and cleaning up this document outline, it really will move your search results up. Make sure you have good markup. A bad example would be here. So they're missing an H1, missing H2. You can see that it just jumps right here to H4, then H3. So this is an example of what you don't want. You really want to make sure that you clean all this stuff up. And look at all these broken tags. Semantically, this isn't perfect. This is probably a good site. You can still rank well, but it will give them maybe 1% boost, and 1% could mean 3 or 4 results. So this is what it looks like when they're bad, and you may not be able to program this yourself. You may have to have your coders show them how to do this, and it'll be a good start for you. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Search engine friendly URLs. Okay, you want to make them natural. Don't stuff it full of keywords. It's one of the things with also the new Panda and Penguin updates. It just really seems to be that you got to really try to dig down and don't overly optimize. You really got to make this stuff natural looking. You do want to include the category. So here we would say shoes, running. Each one would be a category, subcategory, and then your product name. I just made that name up. It isn't anything, but I was just giving an example to include your category. Another thing too is when you're backlinking, don't always backlink here. Your link juice will flow up, but one of the things is if you actually backlink here and say you build a page rank 3, 100% of that flows down here, some of it flows up here, and it's actually going to be a lot more beneficial for your site, and odds are you're going to get these pages showing in your search results right below these if you actually do some deep linking. So when you're doing your linking, do a full link out here to this, do links to your categories, your subcategories, all that. I really would recommend that. Again, H1 being relevant to your URL. So like we talked about the last one, your H1 needs to be relevant to your title, but it also needs to be relevant to the URL. But again, not exactly the same. In your URL, you want to remove unnatural characters, question marks, equals, and underscores. Example of that is Newegg here. They have a pretty dominant place in the market because of their authority, but this is what you don't want. You don't want all this stuff in your URL, especially if you're new and you're trying to compete against these big guys. You can really give yourself an advantage by cleaning up your URL structure to not have all this. Even this .aspx, you don't need that. So really try to eliminate all that type of stuff. Also, don't use the underscore. Underscores are treated as a word join, and if you search for like ini underscore set, it'll return a result with ini underscore set. If you search for ini dash set, it will return results. It'll treat that dash as a space, and this is really important because this was done for programmers to find code snippets. So if they're in there looking for a specific thing having to do with code, underscores are used quite often. So Google's algorithm was made more for that. So you really want to, in your URLs, make sure you're not using underscores. Google tries to, or it seems that they try to work with that, but it does put you at a disadvantage. So go ahead and try to make it a habit to use all lowercase and dashes in your URLs. Another thing I recommend is removing .html or .php when possible. This dilutes your keyword phrases. So you have this keyword here, shoes, running, Nike, EV2. Now if you have .html, you can imagine that Google's putting more priority on this keyword, a little bit less here, a little bit less here, a little bit less here. And by having this extra 5 characters is diluting the overall value of this whole thing. So if you can pull those off, again, it's going to give you just that little bit of an advantage. So you're going to want to make sure to do that. Now, as far as canonicalization, you're really going to want to look into this yourself, or maybe I'll do a video on it later. But there's a lot of extensions for open source software to canonicalize. But essentially what it does is if you have a URL that's Nike EV2 and then you're sorting by color, it would be like question equals blue. What it would do is say question equals blue is the same as this link, so that when Google comes here and sees this question equals blue, it knows that that is actually this link. So if people put a link on a forum with the filtered results, this link here is getting the credit for it. So you want to make sure to canonicalize when you get a chance. But look into that. I could probably spend a whole video on canonicalization. So next thing, W3C. This doesn't seem to be a huge deal, but it stands for W3 World Wide Web Consortium. 3 W's, C Consortium. I try to make it a habit to get your websites to always pass W3C compliance. What that does is it ensures that it's compatible with all the major browsers, and it ensures that when Google, Bing, Yahoo, these other search engines are crawling your site, they're not going to have crawl errors. If you're having errors, W3C validation errors, there's odds are that your crawler has a chance of having an error and not crawling all your content. Or if it does crawl your content, there's a possibility that it's not getting it right. So try to make it a habit. There's some instances of some of the HTML5. If you get into rich snippet data, you're going to understand what that is. It doesn't validate. So there's going to be some exceptions where you can't actually validate. And Facebook seems to throw a lot of errors in validation, so you can't really validate with some of the Facebook stuff. But if all you're having is Facebook errors, you're going to have to do your best to, to go ahead and validate without that. So, and also it improves the user experience. And all the users, all the different browsers are having a similar experience, and the website is working in most of their browsers without you having to test 800 different varieties of browsers with different version numbers and all that kind of thing. So anyway, that's just a short thing there. The tools I'm using here, Firefox, this right here, Web Developer Toolbar. In this example here, these right here coming in with SEO Quake, you can get that to plug in for Firefox. What else did I want to cover? Oh, SEO Doctor. This is a really cool one too. Down here, this right here is SEO Doctor. So let's say we open this Newegg page here, and you click this, and it gives you some information. So saying this page is not indexable for whatever reason. They've got a disallow in here, and oh, it's canonicalized. And this is canonicalized because of what I was talking about, this question, this kind of stuff here. So that's what's going on here. And then title tag, alt image. It just gives you a quick overview of what's going on with your site and your overall SEO score. What else we got here? Again, try to word your website like a human. Google's getting really smart at detecting way too many keywords. The content it's really important that you start trying to get a bunch of extra links out of your page and really get this organic so a human understands it, human would read it, doesn't sound spammy, it doesn't, you don't have a bunch of keywords where you wouldn't normally have them if you're writing it in real English. Just make sure to clean that stuff up. Keywords ordered by priority. I messed up my PowerPoint here, and these are from my previous slide. So this would be the last tool right here. This is the meta tag analyzer. So go ahead and get this link right here. I'll have this PDF, and I will remove these two notes. But go ahead and get this. Use it. It's a great little tool. Makes it quick and easy work to find your to have an idea of basically the title tag, your keyword density, that kind of thing. Just really quick and easy. Just want to thank you guys. You guys rock. I appreciate you guys checking out my videos and bearing your way through this. This one's turning to be pretty dang long. For backlinking, I would seriously recommend you set up a backlinking campaign. You start create a budget. If you're actually doing this as a real business, you really need to put that into your marketing budget to be doing backlinking. And the other thing I want to mention is some of these changes, if you guys are on a hosted shopping cart solution or a hosted website solution, like a GoDaddy pre-built website or something like that, a Yahoo shopping cart, some of these changes you're not going to be able to make. And if you really want to have an advantage, you might have to switch shopping carts to somewhere where it'll facilitate you making the changes you need to do to have your site be as competitive as possible. So I'm sure some of you guys have some very competitive niches, and you're really going to need to make sure that you guys can win those phrases. Another thing with backlinking is I kind of have, there's a split view on this. One thing that's going on right now with Panda, with these new Panda and Penguin updates, and who knows what's going to happen here with Google, is that they're really trying to eliminate basically they're looking at pretty much any non-organic backlinking to your website is black hat. They're trying to eliminate that. They really want your website to rank because everybody likes it. People are actually talking about it. So they're kind of looking at any backlinking as being black hat. So you need to keep that in mind when you're actually looking at who's doing your backlinking and working on your backlinking campaigns. Is Google's not banning you or anything like that for your backlinking, and I don't think they could actually do that. Otherwise, your competitors would send you a bunch of backlinks if they wanted to knock you out of the SERPs. But keep in mind that they need to be really, really organic looking, and you know, in their eyes, pretty much any backlinking is black hat unless it's done by somebody recommending your company or someone promoting your company for you. So keep that in mind. So set up your budget. Make sure you're having good people do your backlinking. Make sure you're working with a professional team. It's really important that they don't. It's really important that the links that come to your site are on pages that are relevant to your site. That's getting more and more important as time goes by here. So if you know, if they're out on a forum talking about you and your website's about electronics, you want to make sure it's an electronics forum linking back to your site. That'll really help you. And don't forget, like my Facebook, stay up to date. I'm going to be releasing more videos. I'm going to try to keep them coming every week. If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, please feel free to send me a message there. Or give us a call at Majon. We've got sales staff always there, ready to take your calls. And the other thing too is when you watch this video, add your email to my mailing list, and I'm going to keep giving away these PowerPoint presentations I do. I'm going to upload these PDFs so you guys can have it as a resource in doing your work. And you guys can always come back to these videos. The emails, I'm not going to spam them. I'm not going to sell your email list or anything like that. The only reason I'm using it is to update you on these new videos we come out with and any new material we come out with that would be useful to your business and help you succeed. We've been doing this. We've been making a lot of money on the internet, and we want to make this thing work for you. One other thing I actually wanted to show you before I completely close up is I wanted to show you that this stuff actually works. Take a look here. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek into my Google Analytics here, and take a look here. Okay, so you can look through here. This is organic traffic. This is all completely organic. And you could see here we were stuck, you know, in the thousand organic phrases per day range. And I came on Majon here and end of last summer, I suppose, somewhere in here, and really started ramping things up. I really started going that extra 1 to 10% and doing on-page optimization. And you can see here that our organic traffic, this is all organic. And you can see over here, this is the organic tab that we're on. You can see it just really start to grow. Another note, I got penalized right here. We got hit with the Google page layout algorithm. And so I do know what it's like to get penalized, and we are experienced in this stuff, and we know how to not only get penalized, but we know what it takes to recover from that. So we got a little slap, and took us down for a minute, but I was able to make a full recovery, and we are growing pretty rapidly. I think it's almost doubling each month. So if you look at our monthly traffic here, there's where we got penalized. We took a little dip, 67, 100,000, 101, 144,000, and so far this month we're at 185. So we have a healthy little growth curve going on here, and this is mostly organic. This actually right here is all organic, and this entire growth is organic. So there is some growth to be had in organic. Do all this stuff right. Pay attention to detail. And once you get that thing set up, you guys want us to do some backlinking, I'm offering you guys a 10% special for any of my video subscribers. You go ahead and click this link. It'll be in the PDF. I may also put the link in the video. And you guys will get 10% off of our ranking special there. And the other thing is I'm going to go ahead and upload a Magento template that I built that actually has all the document outline built right. So I'm going to upload that too as a free gift to you guys, any of you guys that are using e-commerce systems such as Magento. You guys can download that and start optimizing your pages with that. And you're going to want to use that as a framework. It's completely blank, but use that as your framework to build your new template for your page, or have your designers build. So anyway, I hope all you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it took so long, and good luck on your SEO campaigns, and give me a shout. Let me know if I can be of any help. Talk to you soon. Bye.